pedigree charts. Dad, Mom, me. Elder brother, sister, younger brother. A pedigree chart is a diagram that shows the occurrence and appearance of phenotypes due to a particular gene of an organism along generations, starting from the ancestors. A pedigree shows relationship between family members, and it indicates which individuals have certain genetic traits, including genetically inherited diseases. Genetic counselors use pedigree charts for their services since pedigree charts reveal family history. As an example, if a couple has an affected child with a genetically inherited disease, they can decide about their next child with the help of a genetic counselor. There are two main types of pedigree charts that indicates the transmission of dominant and recessive traits, and they may exhibit either autosomal inheritance or sex-linked inheritance. We can distinguish the inherited character as dominant or recessive, as well as the inheritance of the character is either autosomal or sex-linked, by observing the pattern of the pedigree chart carefully. Symbols used in pedigree charts: normal male, normal female, affected male, affected female, male carrier, female carrier, marriage, offspring. Let's do some questions to realize how features are inherited along generations with the help of some pedigree charts. Incorrect statement or statements about the pedigree chart given here. A. Individuals 1 and 2 are heterozygotes. B. It may represent the transmission of widow's peak. C. Individuals indicated by 4 and 5 are heterozygotes. D. Genotype of the individual 9 is either a heterozygous or a homozygous dominant. E. Genotypes of individuals 5 and 6 are either heterozygous or homozygous dominant. We have to clarify first that the pattern of inheritance indicates whether a transmission of dominant character or recessive character. If this is a recessive inheritance, the parents indicated by numbers 1 and 2 cannot have an unaffected son numbered as 7. Because the genotypes of both the parents are homozygous recessive, and such parents cannot have an unaffected child. Therefore, we can conclude that the pedigree chart given here should resemble the transmission of a dominant character. In dominant inheritance, both homozygous dominant and heterozygous genotypes determine the relevant character, and the feature is not expressed by the homozygous recessive genotype. Accordingly, the son of the first parental generation indicated by number 7 should have the homozygous recessive genotype, since he is an unaffected individual. Both of his father and mother should be heterozygotes therefore. The statement A is correct therefore. Let's predict the genotypes of other individuals too. Statement B is also correct, since widow's peak is a dominant character, and can be transmitted similar to this pattern. Statement C is incorrect, because, though the mother of the second family indicated by number 4 is a heterozygote, the son of the first family indicated by number 5 can have either homozygous dominant or heterozygous genotype. Statement D is also incorrect because the son of the second family indicated by number 9 should be a heterozygote. he cannot get the homozygous dominant genotype, since he gets only one dominant allele from his mother while he gets the recessive allele from the father. The statement E is also correct, because genotypes of individuals 5 and 6 may be either heterozygotes or homozygous dominant. The incorrect statements are C and D therefore. Let's do another question, based on this pedigree chart. It may represent the transmission of A. Tongue rolling ability, B. Widow's peak, C. Attached earlobes, D. Huntington's disease, E. Hitchhiker's thumb. Out of the given examples, tongue rolling ability, widow's peak and Huntington's disease are inherited by dominant alleles. The correct answers are A, B and D, since this pedigree chart indicates an autosomal dominant inheritance. Let's study some factors about Huntington's disease, because it's a deadly disease. Huntington disease is transmitted via an autosomal dominant allele located on chromosome number 4. Nerve cells are gradually destroyed due to the disease, causing gradual loss of coordination, decline in mental ability, and changes the personality. Some important factors about the deadly Huntington's disease. People with this disease progressively lose muscle control and mental functions until the death. Nerve cells are gradually destroyed due to the disease, causing gradual loss of coordination, decline in mental ability, and changes the personality. Symptoms don't appear around the age of 20 or later. Incorrect statement or statements about autosomal dominant heredity. A. It doesn't skip generations. B. Affected parents can have unaffected children. C. Unaffected parents can have affected children. D. It may skip generations. E. Huntington's disease found among humans is caused due to an autosomal dominant allele. Let's use another pedigree chart, which represents the transmission of a dominant feature, to answer the question. The pattern of this pedigree chart represents autosomal dominant heredity. Since Huntington disease also inherited by a dominant allele, we can use the relevant letters to clarify this further. Since the dominant allele carries the feature, homozygous recessive alleles represent the unaffected individuals. The feature doesn't skip generations, since only one allele, that is even heterozygous genotype, can determine the feature. Unaffected parents cannot have affected children. Affected parents can have unaffected children when both of them are heterozygotes. Accordingly, statements C and D are incorrect. Let's study the pattern of inheritance of an autosomal recessive character along generations with the aid of a pedigree chart. The pedigree chart represents the transmission of albinism along 3 generations of human population. The incorrect statement about the pedigree chart is 1. It's a recessive inheritance. 2. Both the parents of first generation are heterozygotes. 3. Individuals 4 and 5 may be either homozygotes or heterozygotes. 4. Individuals 9 and 10 are unaffected heterozygotes. 5. Individuals 7 and 8 are heterozygotes. Albinism affects the production of melanin, the pigment that colors the skin, hair and eyes. People with albinism have a reduced amount of melanin, or no melanin at all. It is transmitted by recessive alleles. Parents of first generation have 2 sons and 2 daughters. Both the daughters are unaffected, but the son indicated by number 6 is an albino. Homozygous recessive alleles of the gene cause albinism. The first statement is correct, since the albinism is a recessive inheritance. Both the parents should be heterozygotes, since they are having an albino, though both of them are unaffected. The second statement is correct therefore. The daughter indicated by number 4 may be either homozygous dominant or heterozygous, since there is a chance to get 2 dominant alleles from her each parent, or 1 dominant allele from one parent while the recessive allele from the other parent. Her husband indicated by number 5 may also have homozygous dominant or heterozygous genotypes. The third statement is also correct, therefore. The fourth statement is incorrect. Because we can't exactly say that the daughter and son indicated by numbers 9 and 10 are heterozygotes, though they are unaffected. Their genotype may be either homozygous dominant or heterozygous. The parents indicated by numbers 7 and 8 are unaffected, but they are having an affected daughter indicated by number 11. To have an affected child, for unaffected parents, in autosomal recessive inheritance, the parents should be heterozygotes. The fifth statement is also correct therefore. Answer 4. Let's observe another pedigree chart, which exhibits the pattern of inheritance of a sex-linked disease. The pedigree chart indicates the transmission of hemophilia in several generations. Hemophilia is one of the X-linked recessive inheritatory diseases. Males who bear recessive allele on their X chromosome are affected males. Males who bear dominant allele on their X chromosome are normal males. Females with homozygous dominant genotype are normal females. Females with heterozygous genotype are carriers. Females with homozygous recessive genotype are affected females. Accordingly, there are 3 genotypes for females related to hemophilia. Normal female, carrier, hemophilic female. There are 2 genotypes for males related to hemophilia: normal male, hemophilic male. Accordingly, probable genotype of each individual. Let's observe further how hemophilia is transmitted along several generations, starting from a marriage between a carrier female and an unaffected male as given here. The affected son of the first parents is married to an unaffected female. Both of their daughters are carriers. One of these carriers is married to hemophilic male, and they have an unaffected son and a hemophilic daughter. Hemophilic females are usually not alive. They are dead either embryonic age or at their early life. But some with Turner syndrome, that suffered from another type of chromosomal mutation, will be survived. The carrier daughter of first parents is married to an unaffected male. They have an unaffected son and an affected son. Their affected son is married to an unaffected female. They have got 2 carrier daughters and 1 unaffected son. One of these carrier daughters is married to an unaffected male, and they have got an unaffected daughter. Let's do another question about hemophilia to enhance the knowledge about pedigree analysis. The pedigree chart given above indicates the inheritance of a sex-linked disease found in human population. Incorrect statement about it. 1. It indicates X-linked recessive inheritance. 2. Females are carriers. 3. Males are more likely to be diseased. 4. The disease never transmits from father to sons. 5. The disease never transmits from father to daughters. The disease is likely to be hemophilia, one of the X-linked recessive diseases. Probable phenotypes of the children when the father is a hemophilic male, and the mother is a carrier. Carrier daughter. Hemophilic daughter. Unaffected son. Hemophilic son. Daughters get one X chromosome by the father, and the other one by the mother, therefore daughters can get the disease, either from the father or the mother, since the hemophilia is transmitted by X chromosome. But sons get this disease from the mother only, because it's X-linked disease, and sons get X chromosome by the mother, and Y chromosome by the father. Sons can get either the dominant allele, or the recessive allele, since the mother of this family is a carrier. Sons of this family can be affected or unaffected therefore. The first statement is correct because the disease is likely to be hemophilia, one of the X-linked recessive diseases. The second statement is also correct because females are carriers. The third statement is also correct because males are more likely to be diseased, because only one allele is enough to get the disease, since males have only one X chromosome. The fourth statement is correct because the disease never transmits from father to sons, because sons do not get X chromosome by the father, instead they get the chromosome Y by the father. But the statement 5 is incorrect, because the disease can be transmitted from father to daughters, since daughters get one X chromosome by the father. Answer 5. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more such videos.